fun. Married a film critic. So I married a film critic. So I married a...
Welcome to So I Married a Film Critic. I'm your co-host, Julia.
And this is Barry the Film Critic. Hello, everyone.
And tonight we decided to watch another 90s film from 1995, Fair Game.
For Detective Max Kirkpatrick, rules are made to be broken.
Let her go slide.
For attorney Kate McQueen, making enemies is just part of the job.
You married?
No.
Divorced? Boyfriend? Living with?
Is this going anywhere?
I'm just after a suspect profile.
No one tried to kill me. This is Miami. I'm local. We only shoot the tourist.
But someone wants to settle out of court. Tell me you got the woman, Max.
I got her. All right, top of the stairs on the right. I want you to keep her away from all the windows.
So what am I supposed to do?
Figure out who's trying to kill you.
She doesn't want his help.
Do you have a problem with lawyers or something?
He doesn't want the job.
I'm a cop.
Really?
It's written on the badge.
They don't have a choice.
He's in a small room by the stairs.
No, he's behind you. What the hell is going on, Lieutenant? Somebody knows every move we make.
Okay, there you go. I'm on that.
Now, if they can just stand each other.
So now you're saying we can't trust any cops?
That's right.
Baker, FBI.
Why should I trust you?
I didn't shoot you yet.
Yet?
The night's still young.
They just might stand a chance.
I'm leaving you with a friend.
I don't know how to use a gun, Max.
You ever use a camera? Same principle. Point and shoot.
I've got them.
Baldwin.
What are you gonna do, hit me?
Cindy Crawford.
It's still young.
Fair Game.
That was a good ride, Kate.
So we've been covering a lot of Stallone movies lately. Sorry. And I think this is
Not sorry.
I think this is the last one, but I wanted to give you kind of a bonus because this is a film famously that he came so close to making and he walked away from. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if, by the way, it's based on the same novel that gave us Cobra. So I don't know if Stallone was like, this is gutted for Billy. Or I don't know if
I've already done this movie.
Or as we've been talking about, when they first announced this movie, there were a lot of actresses who were up for the highly coveted lead role. And apparently Gina Davis passed, Julianne Moore passed. So I don't know if Stallone was like, Cindy Crawford, no. So I don't know what happened there. But yeah, in fact, I'll read you. This is from 1993. So this is 2 years before the film came out. Joel Silver, this is June of 1993, Variety magazine, he said that in the story, Sylvester Stallone, Sly, plays a Miami cop who teams up with a female management consultant. And they really don't like each other in the beginning, and then they solve the crime, and they really like each other by the end. It's the kind of male-female buddy picture I haven't made yet. It will have that Tango and Cash energy. And it says the female lead had been cast, the director hadn't been chosen, but it was based on Fair Game, the novel by Paula Gosling, which also gave us Cobra. So at one point, it was a red-hot project. This is back when Stallone was making $20 million a movie. And he decided not to make this, but he went and made Judge Dredd. And said Judge Dredd and Assassins came out around this time.
Okay, well, I have to say, you've had this DVD for quite a while on the shelf. And I've seen it and never thought to watch it. And I really...
Never wanted to see the Cindy Crawford action movie. Because, by the way, William Baldwin gets top billing, but what a bunch of sexism. It's the Cindy Crawford movie. Nobody went to see this movie for William Baldwin. Anybody who went to see this movie is like, yeah, hi, 2 for Cindy Crawford, please.
That's funny. And you said this is the only film she's ever made?
Yeah, this is it.
Well, she has a couple more things in her... on her IMDb page since then.
Well, maybe she had a cameo appearance as herself, but no, I mean, this is it.
Like the one big one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I really did enjoy watching this, and so much so that I started taking notes, and then I just put my notes down because I was like really into it.
Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. I mean, we've been talking about it. It's a guilty pleasure for me. It's not a great film, but it's so much better than its reputation. I mean, this movie it was a bomb when it came in theaters. It died after 1 week. I didn't get to see it in the theater. I mean, this thing was gone so quickly. It did play in my neighborhood. I just didn't get around to seeing it because by the time I went, it was gone. But yeah, when I finally caught up with it, I thought this is nowhere near as bad as everyone's saying it. Cindy Crawford's, she's been very open about it. She was not an actress, and she was in a situation where she had to carry this film, and she had a director who didn't really help her. And apparently William Baldwin was cooperative, and everybody's putting in their A game. And it was a Joel Silver film, and it had no expense spared. I mean, it was a $50 million movie, which is a huge budget for '95. And it flopped really hard, and she really took the brunt of it. I mean, the critics were really mean, and I gotta say, like, it's not the greatest performance, but this is the year of Showgirls. So to pick on her performance this year, considering that Showgirls, let's see, at this point, Showgirls came out like a few weeks before. It's pretty ridiculous that they singled out Cindy Crawford because there were worse performances by actresses, let alone anybody, in 1995. And then, months earlier, Natasha Henstridge, who was a former model turned actress, did a movie called Species, where she's a space alien who, like, in the middle of having sex with guys, turns into a monster and eats them. Nobody cared about that. Nobody complained about her acting. Crawford, it was really, really cruel. I remember a lot of the things that were said about her after this movie. And again, like, her performance is not that bad, and neither is the movie.
Yeah.
It's not great. I mean...
No, my biggest complaint about her acting is that she just doesn't know how to cry on screen. So there are a couple scenes where you're like, okay, that was not. I'm not feeling it.
There are times where she needs to project. She's got an interesting. Her voice reminds me of like Catherine Keener. She has a low register. It's kind of a low, whispery sort of voice, and she's playing a lawyer. So I think that there's kind of there are times where she's not assertive enough, and it's also because, and look, the script. I mean, this script would make anybody look silly. It's a silly screenplay. The dialogue is not great. And, if you're a first-time performer in a movie like this, especially in her case, where she's in every scene, she has to carry this film, the chips are definitely stacked against her, I think. I don't think not a fair game. She got a bum deal on this thing.
So back in 1995, were you bummed you didn't get to see Cindy Crawford on the big screen?
Cindy Crawford, that can mean so many things. I really wanted to see it in the theater. I really did. I did.
We didn't take the bait.
No, absolutely not. No, I was you know what? If we're going to go there, I was a Claudia Schiffer fan. Oh. I had her calendar in my room 2 years straight. Big Claudia Schiffer fan. Yes. And she never made a movie.
That's true.
She has a cameo in Richie Rich as herself, and that's about it.
No, isn't she in the Vacation movies?
No, that's Christy Brinkley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, that was like a decade earlier.
Okay.
Claudia Schiffer was like in grade school when Vacation came out.
I don't know the ages of these supermodels.
I know their ages. I know their birthdays. Favorite color is blue.
Clearly. All right. Let's get into fair game, shall we?
Fair game.
All right.
Here we go. By the way, this is not the fair game with Sean Penn and Naomi Watts, if you haven't figured that out by now. Sorry.
I hate it when they do that. Okay. So when they...
Yeah, use the same name. Like, use a different name. A fair game. Use another name.
Yeah, exactly. It's so generic.
Then, like, Sean Penn and Naomi Watts, like... Fair game. That sounds familiar.
All right. So we open in Miami with Cindy Crawford, who plays Kate McQueen, jogging down, I don't know, the beachfront road. And it's a lot of...
You really know your Miami topography.
I know.
She's running on a sidewalk? Yes.
Yeah, she's running on a sidewalk. There's a lot of slow motion, a lot of, like, leg shots.
The movie knows who they have in the lead role, okay?
I just wrote lots of legs, and then, the opening credits are just her really running hard.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
No complaints.
Okay. She ends up getting shot in the arm while she's running through Miami, and
the crime in Miami is terrible. This part of the film is very accurate.
Yeah. So that it's just like a random shooting. So then we meet Baldwin, who plays Max.
Max Kilpatrick.
Yeah, he's a cop. he's dealing with some financial stuff on the phone, and he's like yelling at somebody. And then his girlfriend Rita, played by Salma Hayek, she comes in and she's like giving him the riot act. She's kicking him out of her apartment. And then like a convict goes wild in the department and starts shooting people.
I think this movie is terrified of boring us. Because man, like there's always something happening. I gotta hand it to him. Like there's no downtime in this movie. Something is always happening. Yeah, it's not a boring film.
No, and it's things that are happening that really have no relationship to the plot.
Yeah, at all. Yeah, yeah, especially this. Yeah, the bits with Salma Hayek, they're very colorful, but they do feel like they're outtakes from like Fools Rush In. It's like something out of some bad romantic comedy that kind of finds its way into this one.
So then we see that Max's boss is played by Christopher McDonald.
Shooter.
And he tells Max he needs him to interview Kate McQueen because she's been shot. He needs her to talk to him. But what did you notice?
Well, one of the first things Christopher McDonald says to William Baldwin as he walks in and says, "Nice going, Sly." I'm like, oh, what a dig. And they're like, they left it in the cut. Oh, man. By the way, what a miserable day it must have been for William Baldwin coming to set for the first day, replacing Sly. Okay, William Baldwin, I'm going to give you the tour around set. That's your chair. We're supposed to get you a new chair. We gave you the same chair from Backdraft. It smells like burnt popcorn. That's your chair. Sorry, Stallone had a night. But anyway, you get your Backdraft chair. We had craft services tables. We had craft services, but Stallone is gone. So this is really embarrassing. So I'm going to give you this. It's called the Lunchable. Chew slowly. And we're going to take you to your trailer. And, we get one of those pop-up trailers because you're the star of the movie, you're top billed. And no, that's Stallone's. It's gone. Okay, you have a tent. And if you want to go in and out of it, it has a zipper. Okay, so welcome to Fair Game.
What, did the movie lose a lot of money when Stallone dropped out?
Well, box office, yes, absolutely.
Well, but I mean, like, investors?
No. Well, I mean, let's face it. Stallone was making $20 million at this point. You know who didn't make $20 million in this movie? William Baldwin. He did not get paid the same amount. No, I think because the production is still there. I mean, look, this movie feels like it's tailor-made for Stallone. The bad guys are these muscular Euro villains. I mean, it's well, not Euro villains. They're Russians. So it feels tailor-made for, even like some of the fight scenes I said, like they're kind of more suspenseful because they're William Baldwin. If Sylvester Stallone is going toe-to-toe with these guys, it's like, okay, it's kind of inevitable. But because it's the guy who's best known for, having sex on top of a fire truck with Jennifer Jason Leigh in Backdraft, it's more suspenseful. It's like, I don't know if he's gonna, if he's gonna make it or not, because he's not Sylvester Stallone. But to give William Baldwin all the credit in the world, and he deserves it. He gives this. This is not a lazy performance. No, he really goes for it.
Great.
He probably saw this like, look, this is an opportunity. I'm going to go for it. And it was a big film, an expensive film, and it was a high profile film. And by the way, this is like the end of
his career.
Yeah,
okay.
He's done a lot of movies since then. He has, but like in terms of like big Hollywood movies, this was the last one.
Okay, because I am a big Stallone fan. I think everybody knows that by now. But I enjoyed the William Baldwin. He's easy on the eyes. It was fine.
Do you think he would be better paired with Cindy Crawford than Stallone?
Oh, I mean,
would Stallone have looked too old for her? I mean, let's say it.
I think so. So. I think they look good together, Baldwin and Crawford.
Yeah.
I think they have good chemistry. I didn't doubt like that they would get together. Like, I didn't feel forced.
Okay.
I think with Stallone, if they had kept her, I think it would have been like, I don't think this is. No.
I mean, Joel Silver talked about wanting to recreate Tango and Cash chemistry. I mean, Stallone, outside of Kurt Russell, has Stallone ever had that kind of chemistry with another actor? I mean,
Okay, here's the thing that we've talked about. He's terrible with relationships in movies, Stallone.
Yes, right.
And so I think he would have been, he probably would have been a rewrite, like, it's not going to work out. in the end. Like,
well, originally, I was telling you this. Originally, Elizabeth Pena was playing his ex-girlfriend who goes to the police station and makes a scene. That was going to be her. And, you know, Elizabeth Pena is not only, she's no longer with us, not only is she, you know, beautiful and such a terrific actress, but she's age appropriate. If it was Salma Hayek, it probably would have seemed a little ridiculous, like Salma Hayek. Because at this point, Salma Hayek was best known for Desperado. You know, and she, you know, opposite Antonio Banderas, which is definitely more, you know, which that works. You know, and Stallone is, I think he's maybe a decade or so older than Banderas, who he co-starred with in Assassins, which came out the same year.
I don't know. All I know is...
No, let's figure this out. So... No, yeah, it's so good. I'm glad you like the Baldwin Crawford chemistry. I mean, Baldwin is, yeah, as I was saying, he was giving his A game, and you know, and it's kind of a scene to scene basis as to how effective she is here, because you know, there's times where Crawford seems like it's really working, okay, and there are other times where it seems like, okay, this is maybe not the best take.
16-year age difference between Stallone and Baldwin.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't think that would have been...
You know, movies are fun. I was going to say funny, like in that respect. It's like, it doesn't, you know, in real life...
Crawford's three years younger than Baldwin. So, yeah.
It looks better. It makes a little more sense. I don't know. It's not like, it's not that older people and younger people can't... No. But it does look odd. 19-year
age difference in a movie like this.
Well, let's talk about this. The same year this film came out, you had, you know, speaking of, this works because Cindy Crawford was married to Richard Gere. Richard Gere was in a movie called First Night. We remember First Night, where he's battling over Julia Ormond with Sean Connery. Grandpa Sean. Yeah.
And see, she wanted to be with the age-appropriate guy.
And this actually fits, weirdly enough. They were going to make that film earlier with a different cast, and they got rid of the cast because it tested badly, because it was going to be Sean Connery, again, as King Richard. Lancelot was going to be William Baldwin. And Guinevere was going to be Gabrielle Anwar. And apparently they did a test screen. They did a
Gabrielle Anwar and
Sean Connery. And they said, no. That's like your granddaughter. Like that so does not work. So so they fired Baldwin and Anwar, even though they had the roles.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So because he interviews Max interviews Kate because, you know, she got shot earlier that day, and she keeps getting, like, the phone keeps ringing and it keeps being for her, and she's like doing her work like in his, you know, interrogation room.
Well, this movie is so Freudian because immediately he's talking to her, the gun comes out, the cigar comes out, like, we get it, man. This movie was clearly written by a dude, directed by a dude, starring a dude.
Yeah, and there's just like this witty repartee between them that's like cheeky and
sure.
Yeah. All right. So he leaves. We find out that Kate McQueen is a civil lawyer. She has a scene with Don Hideo. Is he also a lawyer? Because I don't really know.
I think Dan Hideo is playing another lawyer, yes.
Okay. So...
And by the way, in the original script, obviously this movie went through a lot of changes. She was a female management consultant.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those titles where it could mean anything.
Yeah, what's a female management consultant?
It's like probably somebody who goes to like big companies and like they pay her to, you know. So can you tell me like what exactly you do here?
So it's not, okay. So it's not like being like the manager of an Office Max.
No.
Got it.
No.
Okay.
It'd be like the guys who fired everyone from Office Space.
Oh, I love those guys. So it's John McGinley. Nice.
Yeah. Exactly. Only maybe she would be like... She wouldn't be as excited about a guy with the same name as, remember?
Michael Bolton.
Yeah, Michael Bolton. She wouldn't be as excited about that.
But I asked this, but this is something worth bringing up. So, like, you know, Crawford, you know, again, like, she deserves credit because this was a huge burden to put on somebody who has never acted in a film before. She was one of the biggest supermodels in the world. It's not that she doesn't know how to perform, doesn't know, you know, I mean, you know.
The camera loves her.
Yes, but there's also something to that. Like, models turn actors, like, they get a rap for, like, they don't know. No, they know what they're doing. They certainly know how to, you know, how to act towards the camera, which is a huge asset that a lot of stage actors, for example, really have to learn. But the thing is, she's playing a lawyer. You know, like for it, you know, it's like doing your first movie and you're playing the president of the United States. Like it's a lot.
Okay,
you know,
but she's playing a civil lawyer, so she's like, you know, looking over contracts.
Do you think it's too much of a burden, though? I mean, would it have been better if she was playing the female office manager?
Well, I don't even know what the story would have been, because in this scene, it's kind of figured out that, you know, her client she's like doing this divorce settlement, and there's this ship, the Tortuga, and she's like, unless you want to go to maritime court, like, you're signing that over to her. Like, she's getting the money from this ship. Like, that's all she's trying to do. But, yeah, they definitely take time in this scene to, like, have the guy, like, ogle her. She's wearing, like a suit, but it's an extra, like, it's like a mini skirt suit. And, yeah.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, okay. So then we go to the ship. So there's these bad guys on a ship. They want Kate to die. They need to finish a project before the ship is signed over. So
why do they want her to die? Because they're the bad guys.
Yeah, they're the
and
bad
that's
guys.
it.
Then we go back to the police station. Rita comes back and she drives like a truck in front of the station and just like destroys all of his stuff.
Yeah, this is Salma Hayek once again stealing the movie every chance she has and
exactly.
succeeding.
So then Max somehow forgot to have Kate sign her statement because, you know, he was too busy trying to smoke his cigar in front of her.
It's so stupid. Like today, it'd be like, it's just you know, email it. You know, it's so stupid. You got to get the signature. It's so. I mean, I know this is 95, so paperwork is paperwork, but still, it's such a dumb plot device. Like, oh man, I got to go to her house. Got to get her signature.
Got to go to her house. You know. So now we see Kate at her house. She's watching TV, or she turns on the TV. And it explodes her off her balcony and into the water.
Yeah, it propels her through the air. It's pretty awesome. I do wonder about what happened to her cat. I'm guessing the cat didn't make it because there's no, you know, I really thought in the next scene, you know, there'd be like one of these bits where there's cops and policemen everywhere and she'd be like wrapped in a blanket and she'd be like petting her cat. Nope, none of that. I don't think the cat made it.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a gritty film.
But so Max sees this go down. He sees the explosion, her like flying off the balcony, and he like basically like jumps into the water, but before he gets there, he shoots somebody while he's just like flying
through the air. Yeah, the makers of this film I've clearly seen a John Woo film. Yeah.
All right, well, now so he gets her to his car, and now she's going to be in witness protection. So he takes her to this like
safe house,
junkie motel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other cops are like, oh man, like there's nothing to eat here and we have no money. Like, what?
Well, you need this. Again, I think everything in this screenplay is like, okay, we need this because this explains this.
Yeah,
and
it's contrived.
Because it needs to be established that she keeps using her credit card, and that's how the bad guys are able to follow her for most of the movie.
Yeah. So she's like, I have an account at this pizza place. Just like call them and like have it delivered. So we find out, like, obviously the credit card is used to buy the pizza, and there's multiple scenes of like the bad guys in this van, and there's, you know,
we gotta stay in this hotel. I have a credit card.
Yeah.
No, Cindy Crawford.
Like the techie bad guy, because there's always like a smart techie one.
Right.
He's like, she used her credit card, and then
that's an excellent approximation of the accent, by the way. Let's talk about that. So these actors playing the bad guys, we got Steven Berkoff, who
are supposed to be Russian KGB.
Yeah, niet, okay, niet. There's no, these accents are so bad. And Steven Berkoff, like, he's done this before. He's played bad guys time and time again. He was the bad guy in Beverly Hills Cop.
A Russian bad guy?
No.
Oh.
No. But yeah, he's European. And then the other guy, Paul Dillon, who plays the computer bad guy, yeah, he's from Chicago. These are not Russians, and you would never guess that they're Russian. The accents are so inconsistent. Like I thought, like, are they supposed to be Swedish, Norwegian? Like, they sound like members of ABBA. Like, they don't sound like they're Russian ever at any point. It's ridiculous.
That's funny. So they have these heat scanners.
Yes.
So when they figure out, you know, they kill the pizza guy, they steal the pizza. The woman the redheaded woman delivers
Jeanette
pizza.
Goldstein, folks. This is, I think she's probably best known as Edward Furlong's mom in Terminator 2, the one who answers the phone and it's like, your mother is dead, hang up now. And we see that she's actually turned into the Terminator and she's got remember the blade through the dude's head.
That was like the scariest scene.
It's a very scary scene.
A kid.
But she's a very good actress, even though here she's got this crazy red dye job and she just plays like a Boris and Natasha type.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's trying with the accent. I got to say, her accent is at least I think she's from Russia.
Yes. Okay. So they have these heat scanners, right?
Yes.
They have a lot of technology, which for 1995.
Because it's Joel Silver who also produced Predator. It's like, we got the heat vision. All right, we're gonna do the heat vision thing again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It does look like Predator.
It looks exactly like Predator.
That's funny.
Joel Silver's like, we can do that.
So what's funny is like Baldwin is in the shower. I think Kate's in a shower. And then I think his shower gets cold and then his heat signature goes dark. Like, no, you're not going to go below 98.6 degrees because you're in a cold shower.
That must be the mother of all cold showers. And
Not an ice bath.
it's like he's in like Pacific waters. Yep.
Yeah. So there's some epic shootouts. There's he has to like
There's so much mayhem at this point.
mayhem.
It's great, yeah. Because at one point, Cindy is laying in a bed and she puts like a washcloth over her eyes, and that's how she doesn't know that the power goes out. I don't know, like it's well done. It's very routine. We've seen all of this done so many times before. Mm-hmm. The bit with the balcony is pretty spectacular, where she gets blown off her balcony. But at this point, it's like, okay, this is action movie 101 we're seeing.
Yeah. So he gets her out of there. He takes a bullet with him with like the number 33 on it.
Yeah.
And at one point he calls I think it's his cousin Jody, who works in forensics, and he's like, you got to run this bullet for me. And she's like, okay, I'll try.
And she's the one who figures out that it's not a number, which I thought, wow, that's...
No, he figured it out.
He figures it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you. We're not there yet.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so...
By the way, God bless you, Jules. I've never cared about the plot of this movie. I've seen this movie probably three times, including my time with you. I've never, ever given a thought to the plot of this movie, ever.
I know. Well, this could be the first and only podcast that ever talks about it.
You know who else didn't think about the plot of this movie? Cindy Crawford and William Baldwin and the makers of Fair Game. Didn't give much thought to the plot either.
Okay, so Max is like, I can't trust anyone, and he wants the feds brought in. So Max takes Kate to like this pickup point, so they go to this parking garage, and he asks for the FBI agent's like ID. He does everything right. Turns out the FBI agent is a fake, and there's this crazy shootout. Another like pretty well done scene with like different cars, and one guy gets shot in the crotch.
That sucks. This is the parking garage scene, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this scene. It is well done. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's fires. Cindy Crawford is just like screaming the entire time.
But more importantly, a guy gets shot in the crotch. You just don't see that.
You really don't see that. I mean, he gets shot in the crotch and then the head. It's like the one who shot him really
And that's
wanted him to
sadistic,
feel
because
it.
like you just shoot him in the head.
I know.
You don't want his last thing to be like, oh no, they're gone, and then lights out. Because that sucks. Just shoot him in the head, because otherwise it's just sadistic. You're prolonging it.
I know. Well, the bad guys are really bad guys.
Really bad, because then the last thought in your head is like, oh no, my mother gave me that. Bye. Gone.
Okay, so Max and Kate, they steal a car, they leave, and he's driving. He's like, I did everything I was supposed to do. These guys are perfect.
By the way, whiny dialogue. There's no way Stallone would have said that. Stallone would have been like, they messed with the wrong guy. And that's it.
Yeah.
No regrets, no whining.
Yeah, exactly. You're so right.
I'm going to teach them a thing or two.
Yeah. And then...
And it's not going to be a fair game either.
Ooh,
yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then he's like, got any cash? And Cindy Crawford's like, I have a credit card.
Cha-ching! Hi, can you run this credit card for me twice, please? We have another credit card. Oh, yeah, we are Russians. We'll find them with the credit card.
So they go to a hotel, of course.
And there's all these shots like the Russians, like in the keyboard, like, haha, they use a credit card again. We're Russians.
Exactly what happens. But inside this hotel, Baldwin, he sees a sign with other languages on it, and that's when it's like, ding, ding, ding. Maybe it's not numbers. Maybe it's letters.
It's a stretch because I thought, really? That's how you deduce that? I wouldn't have.
So he calls Jody and tells her that, and she's like, maybe you're not an idiot after all.
And it's like, this feels scripted.
Yeah.
This would never happen. I was baffled at what the movie was trying to tell us. Like, because, the camera's on Baldwin's like, okay, he's thinking. What is he thinking? Like, that's the conclusion?
Well, because he calls Jody, so we know what he's thinking.
Yeah, good thing. Yeah. Good thing we have Jody.
And then we hear, idiots, they're using the credit card again.
Oh yeah, another use of the credit card.
Okay, so they're in the hotel room and Max is being like, no resting. Like, we gotta figure out what's going on. Do you think Stallone would have done that? No. You know what? Stallone would have just been in the corner, like, putting guns together.
He would be putting guns together, be like, yeah, I'm gonna take my shirt off first. And it's off. Okay, I'm gonna load this. You get some rest. I'll take it.
Yeah, like that scene in Cobra.
Exactly like that scene in Cobra, which is also the basis for fair game.
I know. Okay, so Jody and Max talk again, and she's like, it's the KGB. She basically says that the 33 isn't 33, it's letters, and it means like death to America.
I love that they put that on the bullet. Oh man, whoever we drilled this with, it's really going to hurt. Because look what we wrote on the bullet, what he will never read. So stupid.
He's like, death to America, death to your balls. Like,
and I'm going to put a smiley face on the front. Ha ha ha, we're so evil Russians. Ridiculous.
So, but she's like, avoid electronics. They are really into electronic surveillance.
But you can use your credit card. No biggie.
Yeah.
That's what she should have told him.
I mean, hello.
You're not using a credit card, are you? Like, how'd you pay to be... Oh, no. No, you need to get out of there right now.
I know. So Kate, I think she takes like a second shower. I'm not really sure if she's taking... How many showers she's taken.
This is the idea of the movie. Like, okay, we need to slow down for the audience. So, okay, shower time.
Yeah. And they're like, how can we get Cindy Crawford to wear less clothes?
Yeah.
Okay, so the KGB calls the hotel room because they've tracked the credit card. And offers him $500,000 for Kate. And then he's like
$500,000? That's so... I don't know. Even for 1995 money, that doesn't feel like much.
Really?
For murder? Yeah. To ask a cop to murder someone on purpose?
No. He just like, give us the girl.
But she's going to die.
I know. But they're not asking him to do it.
It's not really like, hey, we're big fans of Cindy Crawford. Can we have her come for a photo shoot and then we return her? No, it's... Tell us where she is so we can murder her.
Like, yeah, he doesn't do that. He's like, time to move. And she's like in the shower like,
I'm conditioning, you monster.
Okay, this is the best. Max calls like a 7-Eleven.
This scene.
So that, because he knows the KGB is going to hear him. Yeah. And he's like, so this guy's like.
Good luck quoting this scene.
No, I'm not going to quote it, but he's like. Talking about like the girl, and then the guy at 7-Eleven is like, yeah, your girl, I slept with her last night. He's just like making up stuff.
You know what? The movie needs any intentional comedy it can get. Yeah. So yeah, this scene is welcome because it's actually supposed to be funny.
Yeah, and then Max is like, Das Vidanya, a-holes. And then, oh man, the bad guys, they're like, how does he know we're Russians?
Mamma mia, he knows that we're Russians.
Okay, so they leave the hotel to get gas, and I'm like, do they use the credit card at this gas station?
Of course they do.
If they do, major plot hole, because Russian tech guy did not catch that. Because this is where Max puts their cell phone in like a truck with all these pigs.
Right.
And he like turns it on, and the guy's like, idiots, they've activated their cell phone. I will triangulate now, and then they actually find the truck and realize they've been played.
I felt bad too because you know, I want to like, okay, I bet I know exactly what this truck driver looks like, who's like hauling these hogs across, you know, like, oh, maybe they'll like, you know, it won't be like this big guy, you know, like who has like one t-shirt on and suspenders over it, big old beer belly and like a, you know, a red trucker hat. No, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
It's like no stereotype left unturned in this movie.
Exactly. So then they're like, well, what's another way we can track him? And they find this thing called car track. And they're like, oh, his car is registered with car track. It's like, what? Was this a thing?
I don't think so. I think it's a contrivance.
Okay, well, so the KGB find
like,
their car.
They're like, oh, if something like GPS existed, you know, this is the equivalent. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is when Max and Kate go to an electronics store, and all your 13-year-old dreams come true.
I love this scene because this is the part of the movie where I'm going, yeah, this is what every Cindy Crawford fantasy ever looked like for me. It's not this idea that like if I you know 18 years old when this movie came out, if I had a chance to talk to Cindy Crawford, I wouldn't be like cool and hot. I'd be like awkward and silly, and she would probably be just amazing, and I would be just so embarrassing. It would look just like this. So yeah, I love this scene where she's flirty with the guy, and you know everything that she says sounds like a double entendre. He's like, oh. Like I think yes, exactly. There's my avatar in this movie. Yes, thank you, movie.
Adam. Yes. So Kate's
Adam,
like
the tech guy.
Yeah, she's talking to Adam like, yeah, Adam, can I have access to your files? And
he's like, oh, she said access. Oh.
Hello. May I help you?
Actually, I was in yesterday, and Adam was helping me.
I was?
Okay. Fair enough. I'll be over in the diner, Adam.
Hi.
Hi.
I thought I'd be in better hands with you. So what are you doing over there?
Nothing. Just fiddling with my joystick.
Fiddling with your joystick? Adam. Do any of these have a communications package?
Yes, this unit here has a Hayes-compatible 28 baud fax something. Are you interested in hardware, or is it more software?
Hardware. I was hoping to demo your unit.
I'd have to boot up first.
Well, why don't you?
So, anyways, she's like, you know, coming on to Adam a little bit so she can use his computer to remotely access her work files. Again, like pre-internet? I don't know.
This is interesting because I'm like, I gotta know. So GPS actually, it's been around since 1978. So did GPS not approve the name for this movie? They're like, we're not letting you use ours.
They're like, just call it Car Track, okay?
Yeah, we'll do it for one of those John Clancy, Jack Ryan things. We're not doing it for fair game.
Tom Clancy.
Ooh, you're right. Oh, sorry, Clancy fans.
That's okay. Okay, so Kate's going through all her work files, like magically using the internet, like a modem at this time. And she's trying to figure out like which of her clients would have done this, because Max is convinced it's one of her cases, and he's right. So the KGB tracks her downloads, which is
just to start this computer up should have been like 5 minutes of like,
I know.
AOL, you know, like, oh, hold on, we're using JavaScript. I'm curious. Let's ask Jeeves. This should have taken a lot longer.
So then, then he's like, okay, send this fax to Jody. It's like, wow, that's a lot of technology that they just used in 1995 that I don't really think
no
your average person was doing this.
There's a lot of science fiction in this movie, let's face it.
So they're going to leave, and that's when she's like, thanks, Adam, and she kisses him. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his dream come true.
Again, and my dream come true as well. Yeah, thank you, fair game, for...
But then Adam gets beaten up by the KGB.
Which is also the reality of my life when I was 18.
And he lets them see like what happened, and that's when they figure out that Jody's helping them.
I think they test screened the movie and left out the part where they shoot Adam in the head, because I think that's probably what happened.
Oh no, Adam dies?
I don't know. I'm assuming he did, because that scene just ends abruptly.
Wow.
There's no end to it. You notice that? So I think they probably...
They're like, let's just let people think he's alive.
Like, you know what? This Adam character scored really high. A bunch of teenage dorks really relate to this guy. So we're going to cut the whole bit where his head explodes. We're going to cut that.
Yeah, the part where they like shot him in the crotch, we're just going to take that out.
It is what I do. I shoot people in crotches. I'm from Russia.
Okay, so now they're driving off. Max's radiator blows, of course. So he calls a tow truck. Kate changes. We get some side boob action. Of course, she has...
Who are you, me at 13?
Well, no, but the
side boob action?
We do, but... Because it's like, well, where are these clothes coming from? That's what I want to know. Like, how is she changing clothes?
Right. Yeah, that's an excellent
All of a
point.
sudden, she has a teeny tiny, like, brand new white tank top.
Don't you walk around with a teeny tiny white tank top just in case?
Just like in my pocket?
Yeah.
I mean, no. I mean, should I?
I mean, if you're on the run with William Baldwin, don't you always have like one of those just in case?
Where are these clothes coming from?
She's got a purse, right?
I don't know.
She doesn't, does she?
No, I don't think
She's
so.
just like, she got her, just her.
Has like magical clothes coming out of thin air.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know? Okay, so.
Don't they sell like a bait shop? Maybe they've got like a, you know.
Does she use her credit card to buy it?
Exactly. We got bait and we got these little t-shirts. You want a little t-shirt? Oh, I'll give you a little t-shirt. You sure you don't want some bait? Fishing's really good today. Well, I'll take that credit card. Cha-ching! Well, I'm going to run it twice.
Idiots! They used their credit card again!
They used the credit card again. Mamma mia, we're a Russian. We find them.
Okay, so this is when they do track them down and we have the tow truck car chase scene.
Yeah.
Which is actually pretty awesome.
It's great. This part of the scene is so good. I told you, like, this should be the ending of the film. They should have repositioned this as the climax because it's the editing is good, the staging is good, the stunts are good, the scene really works. There's a shot where Baldwin is sticking his head out the window and it's making both sides of his hair like kind of go spreadsies. He looks like Wolverine. He looks ridiculous. Not the most flattering shot, but nonetheless, it's this is as good as the movie gets. It really is. It really works. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, there's explosions.
Lots of explosions.
Yeah. And she Kate has to stunt drive.
Yeah.
And
because it's 1995, you could always tell where William Baldwin ends and his stuntman begins.
Oh no, you didn't point that out to me. I love seeing the stunt.
Oh
guys.
At times it's like that looks like he could have been Sylvester Stallone's stuntman. He's like a burlier dude. And then it's like a close up of Baldwin like, I'm holding on. And then you cut to the guy who's like, you know,
like
I don't get paid enough for this.
Yeah.
I did this in Tango and Cash. Where's Sly?
Okay, so they finally, like, cars explode, some people die, and Kate, like, tries to get away, and Max handcuffs her to him.
Why?
And then steals a car, and they drive away, but then he shoots the handcuffs off.
The next scene. It's so stupid. I mean... Look, there's a movie with Lawrence Fishburne and Stephen Baldwin called Fled, where they're handcuffed to each other the whole movie. The whole film is about how these two guys are on the run, handcuffed to each other the whole film. If you're going to commit to that, do something with it. But it's so dumb the way it's introduced in one scene. I think it's like, 3 minutes later?
No, it's not even 3 minutes. It's like 30 seconds.
It's crazy. Yeah, was there a lot of movie in between those two scenes that they cut out?
I don't know. He handcuffs them to each other. They get in a car. They drive. They stop. They get out. It's
a big plot device to do that and then so quickly dismiss it. It makes me wonder if, like, okay, maybe there's like 10 minutes of movie we're just not seeing.
Maybe. But after that, she takes off. She starts running and she jumps on a moving train.
Well, but Julia, that's why the opening of this scene the opening of the movie was so important, because we know she can run, right?
Oh, yes.
We know how good she runs.
That's exactly why they showed.
Exactly, right. So it all, everything in this movie connects. So we know that she can run fast enough to catch a train. An Amtrak train in motion. Of course she can.
So but not Max. He misses the train running, and so he has to go back, get the car, drive at like 88 miles per hour, pull like a speed like stunt, put the car in
cruise control.
Yep.
Speed 2, cruise control.
and then jump onto the train while the car like hits a pole and explodes.
Yeah, it explodes instantly. And I think was that a Ford Pinto? Because cars shouldn't explode that quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, obviously it was a stunt car, so. Yeah,
or a car with like loaded with dynamite. It's crazy. It's a huge explosion for basically just like bump.
So then Kate like lands like 3 punches right in his face.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Who made you my knight in shining armor?" I mean.
Oh, the dialogue in this movie.
And then finally she throws another punch and he like grabs it, and I don't remember what he says, but it's like a bad ADR line. Like,
yeah, you noticed that his mouth is not moving. But he said something.
Yeah,
like you hit like a girl or something.
No, he didn't say that. Like, yeah, why don't you try again or something like that?
Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah, and then they start making out. So it was daytime when he jumped on this train, and then when they start making out, oh man, it's nighttime.
The world just kind of changes when you start making out with Cindy Crawford.
And I was like, it's all about the lighting for this scene.
Yes.
Because they want the like slats on the train to just have like the light be like different, cool.
Yes. They're trying for style, and also because there's a lot of shadowy effects, you can also hide some of the nudity, because there's nudity in this scene.
They don't really hide a lot of nudity, though. We see a lot.
I don't know about a lot, but you see enough.
Yeah, I mean, we see buns, we see boobs. I mean, what else are we hiding?
I guess that's enough. The scene wants to be the equivalent of, there's a lot of things this movie wants to be. It wants to be like the train subway sex scene in Risky Business. There's a scene in that movie between Tom Cruise and Rebecca De Mornay. And it's a very famous scene. I think it sets up Phil Collins, now that I think about it. But this movie wants to do that.
Is it The Air Tonight?
I think it is.
I can feel it.
I think it is. Now I haven't seen Risky Business one, but I think it is.
Yeah,
that sounds about right. Anyway, this is not that.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, like at one point she like pulls the gun out of his pants, and you're like,
that sounds like a euphemism, right there.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's exactly why it's in the movie. By the way.
But the KGB again is using their heat signature tool because they're either in a car or on the train. Oh. So they're like in a helicopter. Be great. They're in like a helicopter now.
It would be great. Like, she gets on the train, she has sex with Wayne Baldwin, says, I feel really guilty about this. I'm gonna go pay for our train tickets. So I'm gonna get out my credit card. Conductor, hi, 2 for Amtrak. I'm sorry. Here, okay. She goes back to the car.
Idiots.
Aha, we find them on train.
Yeah, but so they find their heat signature on the train, obviously.
Because it's these two. It's like the sun.
It was like super steamy.
Oh, we know where they are. We know what they are doing too.
So the KGB guy waits to shoot because he's just like watching them have sex. He's just like he's
clearly never seen it before.
Yeah, his finger's on the trigger, and then you look at his face. He's like, just wait a few more seconds. Like, we'll see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's so dumb. So dumb. It's a gratuitous moment. The movie's full of a lot of them, but this is like, ugh.
Yeah.
So now the guy's gawking just like the audience is.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's like literally the male gaze. But yeah, so Cindy Crawford's like, no. So she takes a gun and shoots his face off.
Yeah, she totally does. Yeah. And then there's a scuffle. I don't know how Max gets his pants up in time to like do anything else, but he ends up falling off the train.
Yeah, that's something. Mm-hmm. That's definitely not predictable. Yeah, he literally falls off the train.
And Kate gets taken away by the helicopter. So instead of killing her, they kidnap her.
Yeah.
Which is Don't you think that's...
Well, you need the talking killer. You need the scene where you're standing around and the killer's like, look at my plan. My plan is amazing.
That's true.
Yeah.
So Max gets their location from a walkie-talkie from one of the dead guys. But they think Max is dead, but now he knows where to go. So, and then we see that, oh man, his cousin Jody died. Because... Yes. And there's an outgoing message. This guy, he has time to leave an outgoing message, an evil one, and then he says, "Das vidanya, you a-hole."
Oh, it's great. I mean, this is a new kind of evil because this is a tape cassette.
Yes.
It's like, I rewind and I put a new message on. Oh, good. We rewind. Okay, now finish. And yeah, he has to hit the play button and be like, hey, this is villain. Sorry, not here right now. Dead. Ha ha ha. Russian. Das vidanya.
Okay, so now we're on the boat, and you're like, well, in a different movie.
Oh my gosh, there's all this underwater footage, and they're underwater, and they got lasers. It's like, it looks like they stole outtakes of The Abyss, and just like, no one's gonna know. Just put it in there.
And you know what? I never figured out what exactly they were doing.
I have no idea what they're doing. I mean, I don't understand most of the plot of this movie because it's very choppy. That's the thing. I mean, we're watching it, and even in the beginning of the movie, you're going like, why did someone just try to shoot Cindy Crawford? And it's like, I don't even know the movie really gives us a good answer for that. There is the subplot about Dan Hedaya, right? The boat and all that.
Boat,
they reference the boat in the final scene. That's why the ending is helpful, because at least the talking killer is trying to put all the pieces together. But it's still, it's not only murky, I mean, it's so sloppy.
Like tying up loose ends, but we're like, why are these scuba divers? What are they doing with these cables?
Like the movie doesn't even play right by the rules, because, by the way, you got, again, Christopher McDonald, not just Shooter from Happy Gilmore. He's a great character actor. He's great. And because he's the chief of police, the movie should end with him talking with Baldwin. Like, that's typically how these movies are. You have his character come in and kind of like wrap things up and explain how, Baldwin's career as a cop is going to look now. He's completely gone by this part of the movie. There's so many threads that are just completely just left dangling.
We have a big, like the bad guy doing his Cayman Islands bank transfer is like a huge thing in here. They show it like 3 times. Yeah,
and the movie is, I mean, it's 91 minutes long. So I'm like, they're probably just like, we can't lose anything else because we've already cut a bunch of stuff out.
Yeah. So Max calls the boat. He calls the Tortuga, and he's like, give me the girl. And they're like, what? You're still alive? And like, no, we're not going to give you the girl. So the fake redhead and another guy take a boat. They go out to kill Max, and then there's another like pretty epic fight scene.
It's a good fight scene, although I said like if it was Stallone, it would probably be over like in one punch. But because it's Wayne Baldwin, it's like, oh man, he's getting the crap kicked out of him. He may not win.
Yeah, the chick beats him up for a long time.
I think because it was a downsize. I mean, you go from Stallone to a Baldwin brother. It's like, it's not even Alec. I think that, but in this case it works because it's like, oh, okay, it's not a given. Because by the way, it's Cindy Crawford's movie. If Baldwin dies and she wins at the end, I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, it could have taken that turn.
Yeah,
and we would have been like, wow, okay.
Okay, well, hey, we're here for Crawford, so.
Yeah. So Max obviously gets rid of the bodies. Or no, he kills them, but he takes one of the bodies back so he can...
use that as a human shield.
A human shield. And then he just starts killing people.
Lots of people.
Yeah. So he gets on the boat. He's shooting people. We keep seeing that this money is transferring. Like, who cares? Cindy Crawford is trying to cry. It's like...
Oh, man. You were really hard on her about this. And, and admittedly...
Come on. She's terrible at crying.
Well, look, it's hard
There's no tears coming out.
It's hard to cry on cue. And by the way, this isn't Sophie's Choice. This is fair game, all right? So, like, okay,
which
Cindy...
I've still never seen.
Wow, you've seen Fair Game, but you haven't seen Sophie's Choice.
I know.
Wow.
I blame you, but go ahead.
It's definitely my fault. No, I mean, like, think about it. Like, she has to conjure up tears in a scene where there's going to be squibs and yelling and gunfire. I mean, it's...
Oh, yeah, and she's, like, tied up, like...
It's a lot. Look, it's a lot. I want to be totally fair to her about this. Like, it's a lot to ask for anybody, let alone someone, their first movie, and they got to carry it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're not a classically trained actress. Yeah, it was a tough gig.
So the ship is going to be blowing up. Like now there's a bomb and there's a countdown. And so Max and Kate are like, we got to get out of here. The bad guy, the ship is blowing up and all he can do is just like watch this like bank transfer and it like never goes because the ship explodes. And he's gone.
And it gives a chance for Steven Berkoff to look directly into the blast and be like, ah, yeah, I'm Russian. And he dies.
But what about all the divers that are under the water? Like, they don't die.
I don't think the movie wants us to remember that they exist or even know what they were doing there in the first place. By the way, that might have even been like a flashback. You know, maybe it was like,
no,
we went diving weeks ago with our laser. I don't know why that's
I just thought like, wait, are they going to come up? Are they going to come up and like nobody's going to be there?
just like a Ticket to Paradise?
Yeah, or like deep water.
Or open water.
Open water.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where they're like, wait, guys, you knew we were down here.
Yeah.
All right, so Max and Kate are safe on another boat. And then it's like they just start making out like nothing horrible has happened. And you know, drive off into
they have
the
each
sunset.
other. They have each other. She's got a Baldwin and he's got Cindy Crawford. They're doing good.
Yeah, and credits.
And credits.
So, do you feel like you understand this movie more now?
Well,
that
let me help
explained
you.
it?
So, this is real, and I've been dying to share this with you.
Oh, okay.
So, I think obviously
he's holding the DVD.
I'm holding the DVD, and by the way, it's been I think Blu-ray. I think it's on Blu-ray, but yeah. So fair game. Even when it was on video cassette, I don't know that anybody even bothered to look at what was written and the plot description in the back. Listeners, I'm going to share this with you now, and I swear to you, I'm not making any of this up. All right. So aside from, there's a critic quote, a poll quote. It says sexy, exciting, and fun. That's from Chris Hewitt of Knight Ridder Tribune News Group. I bet he's embarrassed about that quote. So this is the description. Plot description of Fair Game on the back. If Kate and Max itch, the killers are after them, know where to scratch. If they order pizza, slip into a hotel or go online, high-tech surveillance equipment instantly pinpoints them. The killers are sure the two have their match.
Have met their match.
It's a match, all right. One to light a hellfire of retaliation. Fair Game stars Cindy Crawford as Miami attorney Kate McQueen and William Baldwin as homicide cop Max Kilpatrick, determined to protect Kate when she's targeted by an ex-KGB operative, Steve Berkoff, and his commandos. Producer Joel Silver and debuting director Andrew Sipes craft a blistering perpetual motion machine, frequently delivering more slam for your bam. Buckle up for thrill upon thrill.
More slam for your bam.
I'm going to read that one more time, listeners. Producer Joel Silver and debuting director, he's out of there, Andrew Sipes craft a blistering perpetual motion machine, frequently delivering more slam for your bam. Buckle up for thrill upon thrill.
Okay, who approved this beginning? If Kate and Max itch, the killers after them know where to scratch. Oh my God.
I think whoever's working at Warner Brothers, like, no one's gonna read this. They're gonna rent this,
They're
or
like,
they're not.
should we rewrite this? Like, nobody cares.
Nobody, yeah, no.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes, more. I've never heard that before. More slam for your band. I'm gonna start using that. I'm not gonna let that die.
I dare you to quote that in one of your next reviews or something.
Well, there's a Fast and Furious movie coming out. I'll put that on my review.
Yeah.
I'll use it.
More slam for your bam.
Stolen from the from the plot description of Fair Game from 1995. Yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
No, I don't. And by the way, I never take. I would never borrow someone else's work like that. But this is too good.
It's too good.
It's too good.
Yeah.
More slam for your bam.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
How did that escape the 90s with nobody turning? That sounds like a Pauly Shore line. Yeah.
All right. Well, you love this guilty pleasure.
I don't love this guilty pleasure. I enjoy it. For me, it's 2 stars.
Okay.
I think it peaks with the highway scene, but the highway scene comes. I mean, is the movie even an hour old at that point?
Yeah. It's probably, I don't know.
The movie probably should just called it at 75 minutes. I mean, I think it would have been fine, but because it goes on too long, by the time you get to the stuff with the ship, it's like, oh man, the movie is once again, it feels just very mechanical, very rote. And Cobra is I think Cobra's a better movie than this. What do you think?
Well, I didn't enjoy Cobra because it's so dark. It's a pretty dark film. I don't think I gave it very...
You didn't like the bad guys clanging their sickles together?
If our audience wants to go back a few
Brigitte
episodes...
Nielsen dancing in front of a robot? No?
No,
Stallone eating pizza with scissors?
No.
Really?
I actually... This was a more fun movie
more
experience.
Fun than Cobra?
Yes. Yeah, I would give it 2.5 stars.
This is where the law stops and I start.
I mean...
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for me, this is 2 stars. Guilty pleasure. Yeah, but it's again so much better than its reputation. But I don't think it's great. As much as there's parts of it, I think that work really, really well. It's a lot. It's fun. It's enjoyable. But yeah, better than Cobra? No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I
because to compare it, Cobra also has a car chase scene, but it's a longer scene, and I think the car chase in Cobra I think is amazing, just fantastic.
Okay, our episode on Cobra was March 10th, so you can go back and listen to that one, and then you can
what a treat,
hear all my thoughts. But no, I just had way more fun watching this.
Okay,
yeah, because it was this is ridiculous and silly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it's that's my biggest problem with it. I mean, the script, it's not witty. It's dumb. The script is really dumb. The dialogue is bad. Yeah, it's hard for anybody to make a movie like this work. And I don't know that William Baldwin and Cindy Crawford were up for it, but they really try. They really do.
They really try.
And it's admirable. It's not lazy. They're not. They clearly knew the kind of film that they were supposed to carry. Yeah, I think there's fun stuff here, but it's not great.
Yeah. Okay. Well, would you change any scene or rewrite a scene?
I think the movie should end where the boat actually gets to Barbados, which may not make any sense.
Wait, which boat? The Tortuga?
Yeah, the Tortuga.
Or their escape boat?
Their escape boat. Yeah, whatever they're escaping on.
Okay.
And they get there, and as soon as they arrive, they're on the dock, and there's all these little huts, and there's people selling T-shirts, and there's a T-shirt that says, I survived, and all I got was this stupid T-shirt. She's like, I'll get it for you. So she gets out a credit card, ka-ching, and then the one Russian still alive, ha, I find you. And that's the cliffhanger ending. Okay, this is going to be a fair game too.
Oh yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah. It's that one guy still at his laptop, oh, yes.
The final scene is her changing into another tiny T-shirt.
Oh, yeah. See, there you go. Win-win.
Yeah. And then the audience is yeah.
How would you have this movie in?
I don't know. I didn't really think about it.
Do you think the movie should be more of a relationship film? Kind of build on, whatever happened to this couple? Because he's not going to become a cop anymore, do you think?
Why? No, I think he gets promoted after this.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think he gets promoted to private or detective status.
Do you think in the sequel it's a moonlighting kind of thing where she's a lawyer, he's she has to defend all the people he arrests?
Yeah, they kind of work together. And then there's another situation, another case where they have to go into witness protection. And they forget everything they learned and they still use credit cards.
Oh. Great.
And they're on the run, and we just are idiots. Yeah, because that would be hilarious.
And I think you should do a trilogy, and only in the 3rd film does she realize that you can get traced by using a credit card.
Yeah. And finally in the 3rd film, she realizes, oh, I can get clothes that fit me.
I love it. So in real life, this movie bombed, and that's it. But I love that we've created a fair game-averse that lasted 3 movies.
Yeah.
I like it.
So are they married?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They have kids and stuff?
Well, it's Kilpatrick. So, yeah. So I think, yeah. So the Kilpatricks, yeah. They've maybe in the 3rd film, the kids get to tag along.
Oh, no.
No, you don't like that?
I don't like it when they bring the kids
Neither
along.
do I. Thank you. I've never liked that when they do that.
Yeah, it's like the last Die Hard. Was it the last Die Hard?
It was the last Die Hard. I know the last Zorro did that too.
Yeah,
I've
but
never
it's
liked
like
that. Yeah.
There's the daughter is in peril and she's like 14 to 16 years old.
And the son's like, Dad, I just want to be like you. You're my hero, Dad. I just want to be like you. I know, son. I know.
I'm proud of you. No, just stop. Like, stay home with your mom.
It's hard being the son of John McClane, okay? It's hard. I know, son. I know.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, agreed. No, I've never liked that too. And that's one of the reasons I think the last Indiana Jones too, the whole thing of like, I mean, Shia LaBeouf was never going to carry the mantle after Harrison Ford, so that was a problem with the movie because we didn't want that to happen. And the movie was setting that up and we're just going, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
We want Harrison Ford or not at all. And we got a sequel where it's just him.
Now, if it's a kidnapping movie, what do you think about the kids? Or do you just think
as bait?
Yeah, sure. Or do you just think kidnapping movies are terrible?
I don't like it when it's very cheap when it's like you gotta the wife is held hostage, the child is held hostage. I like that's why Die Hard is so great because it's just him. He's stuck. He's alone. He doesn't have shoes.
Yeah, but they do kind of hold the wife hostage.
Eventually, they do. That does become a plot point. But but I love that they prolong it enough so that it's suspenseful in the sense of like, are they going to know who she is? She's Holly Gennaro. I love that aspect of that movie. Yeah. I do. And even the sequence where he gets to meet the villain, and at first you're not sure if he knows it's the villain or not. That's my favorite part of the movie. Where Alan Rickman and Bruce Willis are doing that kind of that cat and mouse game between the two of them.
We should have just watched Die Hard.
Well, there'll always be times to watch Die Hard.
That's true.
It's not every day you get to watch Fair Game. The Cindy Crawford action movie.
Okay, do you have any? Okay, you said it was 2 stars. Any other like final thoughts?
Check this movie out, guys. It's a guilty pleasure, and it's got more slam for your bam. Fair Game.
All right, well, that concludes our discussion of Fair Game.